Finding Neo by Humongous. Quote, "The problem was you had to keep choosing between one evil or another, and no matter what you chose, they sliced a little more off you until there was nothing left. At the age of 25, most people were finished. A whole goddamn nation of assholes driving automobiles, eating, having babies, doing everything in the worst way possible. Like voting for the presidential candidate who reminded them most of themselves." Unquote. Charles Bukowski. Eugenics. It's what's being done to us. Eugenics is creation of a quote-unquote master race via thinning of the herd. In this case, though, the eugenicists are deranged lunatics. Thus, the result isn't some superior species, rather it's what we have today. Scared, ignorant people killing each other over paper. When envisioning eugenics, think Adolf Hitler and the extermination of anyone deemed quote-unquote Jewish. The boys from Brazil, blonde hair, blue eyes, or death. Logan's Run in real life. If you're 30, you're too old and must die. Those who demand this genocide harm themselves in the process. Consider the brilliant minds Hitler ordered obliterated. Minds that could have cured Alzheimer's, cancer, dementia, multiple sclerosis, etc. What if Hitler had quote-unquote won the war? What if he subsequently contracted a life-threatening disease some quote-unquote Jew he sent to the gas chamber would have developed a panacea for? In his pursuit to quote-unquote cleanse, Adolf may have destroyed himself as well as countless quote-unquote Nazis who ended up dying of afflictions someone they exterminated may have remedied, all due to an elitist mindset. But you're an elitist as well. Me? I believe in equality for all. Sure you do, as long as quote-unquote all are quote-unquote American. No, I'm cool with folks from other countries. Yet, when U.S. soldiers slaughter 1 million in this nation and hundreds of thousands in that, all you're concerned about is who won Monday Night Football. You feel your status as quote-unquote American affords you a privileged place among society's hierarchy. Again, I have no problems with those from other regions. You may not, but your quote-unquote leaders do. Since you vote for these quote-unquote commanders and talk about them, i.e. support them, you're complicit in eugenics. You perpetuate a system that's killing us all. And if you don't believe the U.S. is engaged in thinning the herd, grab yourself a copy of War Against the Weak, America's Campaign to Create a Master Race, by author Edwin Black. Castrations, forced sterilizations, proposed genocide, and segregation were part of the U.S. eugenics plan Hitler found so enticing he just had to adopt it for his Third Reich. Unbeknownst to you, your own government has ordered and carried out at least 60,000 forced sterilizations on fellow quote-unquote Americans. Obviously, they've segregated us via the monetary system. Just hit Vegas. Homeless urchins in the street, on the verge of death, curled up in the shade of Trump Hotel. When it comes to genocide, I'd say nuking the shit out of a population and disguising it as, quote, tests for our benefit, unquote, applies. Castrations? There were more than a few carried out surreptitiously in the U.S. by unhinged psychos doubling as quote-unquote doctors. From the Eugenics Record Office, ERO, in Cold Spring Harbor, New York, douchebags Charles Davenport and Harry Laughlin were the main architects of this modern culling. That said, there were so many others who played key roles. How about Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood? What a woman! This freak was an advocate of forced sterilization for those she deemed unfit to procreate. That's right, the place from whence you receive your birth control pills was built by some chick who thought she was God. So who made the grade when it came to the U.S. eugenics kill list? Anybody eugenicists didn't like on a particular day. Quote-unquote feeble-mindedness was a biggie for a while, as was epilepsy, both of which eugenicists declared hereditary. Whether these afflictions are due to lineage or not was of no concern. Eugenicists would fabricate test results, engage in pseudoscience, and lie to promote their agenda. An agenda, no less, based solely on personal prejudice. Don't like somebody? Choose one of their traits, get yourself some money muscle, the Carnegies, Harrimans, or Rockefellers, and become a eugenicist. Is it any surprise all three of these disturbingly monetarily wealthy families funded eugenics research, making forced sterilizations a reality? It got to the point fuckheads in this quote-unquote field did their damnedest to sway popular opinion that being poor was hereditary. What the fuck does not being able to collect useless pieces of paper have to do with your genes? We're talking a stretch here wider than the gap between Dick Cheney and compassion. Blindness was on the shit list for a while, as was poor eyesight. Stupid as fuck when you consider Warren Buffett wears glasses, but he's a multi-billionaire. Hence, do you fit him with cement shoes or make him part of your cretinous club? Teddy Roosevelt sported spectacles, and so did Herbert Hoover. Franklin's on the 100, right? Maybe we should shuffle his inferior ass off, though, since he wore bifocals. Truman wouldn't have been able to drop 2 atomic bombs on his own species had a eugenicist, big on the poor eyesight thing, gotten their hands on him. Again, no rhyme nor reason, because madness has no rhyme nor reason. Throughout this insanity, one wonders, where is Neo? I can't find him anywhere. He's with you all the time. Because you are Neo. We all have the ability to be. Again, when separated from the succubus system, we can accomplish anything. Anything. There are no limits to our abilities. Each of us can assist in SOS, saving our species. We've been misled to believe we're inherently evil, our accomplishments extending only as far as accumulating dirty pieces of paper. That's not what we're about, but that's what we've allowed ourselves to become. It's a waste when you realize we should be traveling from solar system to solar system. Instead, we settle for smoking weed in our trailers and plugging our internal hard drives into the propaganda promoter every night, downloading the latest lies into our skulls. We could be communicating with countless other species to figure out what everything is about. Rather, we're just happy when the system leaves us alone for an hour so we can play video games and quote-unquote escape. It's plausible if we were free, by now we wouldn't be three-dimensional entities. Rather, we may be dealing on 4, 5, and 6 alternate planes, seeing what's been around us for millennia, that which we're currently unable to experience due to limiting of our abilities. In lieu of the amazing, though, we're satisfied showing our masters what good little slaves we are, and happy in our incarceration. Online quote-unquote job applications, replete with exuberant actors displaying unbridled ecstasy over the prospect of imprisonment. Start a satisfying and lucrative career with Allstate, Taco Bell, or Walmart. Well, I'm not happy being a slave. I haven't been since I began unraveling this horse shit years ago. Hence, I am Neo, here among you all, fighting for your liberation and being attacked by you constantly. I'm strong. I have to be in order to continue this battle. You can be just as powerful, but you choose to be nowhere near what you're capable of. Mine is not an enviable position. That said, if it weren't for Neos, since there are many of us around, there'd be no escape from the Matrix. So, if there's a Neo, there has to be a Morpheus. Where's he? As far as I can discern, Morpheus and Neo are one, since I've offered up nothing more than the truth to those interested in taking the red pill. Anyone who continues to awaken also becomes Morpheus. Makes you wonder if Larry Fishburne and Keanu Reeves comprehend the reality exposed by the movie they were making. Then again, who gives a fuck? What matters is that we end our enslavement. Shine the spotlight on the festering insects controlling our species. Expose them for the evil they are. These aren't your quote-unquote leaders. You don't need to be led. You can lead yourselves. You've always been able to.